Well, the road to an agreement was as perilous as ever, because while Pacquiao was still exclusively aligned with Bob Arum and HBO, in 2013, Mayweather had signed a lucrative deal with rival network SHOWTIME, owned by CBS. Then, though, as the story goes, it was the unlikely pair of Freddie Roach and a waiter he knew at a popular Hollywood restaurant who in June 2014 brought together Arum and CBS chairman Les Moonves, whose prior dealings had left them on hostile terms.
Leslie Moonves was anxious to make a Mayweather-Pacquiao fight.
We're going to listen to this. This is important.
Wouldn't it be great? I said, sure. You understand, Leslie? It has to be a co-production with HBO. Fine, no problem. And let's work along those lines.
I'm sitting there like listening to these guys negotiate, and I'm amazed. Like I said, is this really happening, you know? When they walked out of that meeting, right, and I'm walking behind them, and they had their arms around each other, I said, that fucking fight's gonna happen.
By August, Moonves and HBO chairman and CEO Richard Plepler connected. And then, along with Showtime CEO Matt Blank, began the network negotiations in the fall. In the meantime, though, both fighters needed to get past other opponents. First, in September, Mayweather outpointed Marcos Maidana to extend his unblemished record to 47-0. 2 months later, it was Pacquiao's turn. He knocked down Chris Algieri 6 times to cruise to an easy decision win, and then was happy to address the question on everyone's mind.
The fight that everyone's been talking about again is you and Floyd Mayweather.
We're going to stop right there.
What are your thoughts about that fight right now?
He's going to fight me? Yes, yes. Yes, I think I'm ready to fight. I'm ready to fight next year for him.
If Pacquiao's words were clear, his actions were just as unequivocal. For when negotiations resumed, he agreed to accept a 40% share of the purse. This on top of his prior acquiescence to Mayweather's drug testing demands. He even found humor in his predicament, comparing it to offering a prisoner on death row his last meal.
There's a joke. There's a joke. Okay.
We'll listen to this last part.
40-60, I agree. Okay, 40-60. And drug testing is okay. Yeah, that when the people are sentenced by death penalty, before he got sentenced by death, you have to feed him whatever he want or what you want. Anything you want. Okay, give it, and then you get to... What?
Listen, I would stop. Basically, he's saying, you know, like, listen, I'm agreeing to everything because when I see you in the ring, it's like, okay, I'm going to fuck you up. I'm T-Street Controversy. This is T-Street Controversy Live of RealCombatMedia.com, and I cover every single major fight live, every single episode of HBO 24/7, every single episode of Showtime All Access, every single episode of Inside Mayweather Pacquiao, and now we're talking about Mayweather Pacquiao at last. HBO, bar none. I understand Showtime All Access is good. Inside Mayweather versus Pacquiao was good to me. But HBO is the benchmark, nothing higher. And production quality from everything. Directing, editing, it all works. 10 of 10. Whether you're a Pacquiao fan or a Mayweather fan, don't be a hater. That was a good fucking show. I am T-Street Controversy. I said that already with RealCombatMedia.com. And wow, listen. I might sit up here and talk for 30 minutes. I may not. It all depends on how my breathing is going. But it's crazy because just a guy like myself, just a regular guy, just a guy. Terrell Van is my name. T-Street Controversy, just a guy. I've been talking about this same stuff that this one episode has talked about today. The drug testing, the defamation, right? Floyd Mayweather and Team Mayweather, Golden Boy Promotions, you might as well put all of them together. At that point in time, what was that, 2010, accused or insinuated Emmanuel Depredrian Pacquiao was using performance-enhancing drugs, right? I talked about this a long time ago. Manny Pacquiao filed a defamation suit against Mayweather. It was settled. So what does that mean? If Pacquiao was on steroids, PEDs, performance-enhancing drugs, you could have exposed him for what he was. Instead, what did Team Mayweather do? Pay Manny Pacquiao money for accusing him of being on that shit. As Roger Mayweather would say, accusing Pacquiao of having that shit up in him. HBO confirmed that. It's not just me now, you know. It makes me upset. It bothers me because it's like, yo, you think I'm just gonna be some dude just gonna come up here, you know, just saying this shit without it being true? So, if you don't know, to make matters worse, at that point in time, when Floyd Mayweather was accusing Manny Pacquiao of being on performance-enhancing drugs, do I have to play the video of, well, how his head gets so big? Pause. You know, he wear 4 8 hats. Alex Ariza was working with Manny Pacquiao at the time Floyd was accusing him. Now, Alex Ariza is the money team. Why didn't the fight happen? You know, and why is it happening now? I remember talking about how long before those executives come from upstairs. Those guys, the Matthew Blanks, the Les Moonveses, you know, maybe don't even watch boxing like us. But how long before they look and say, yo, wait a minute. This Mayweather-Pacquiao fight can make Mayweather sign with CBS Showtime. But then if we make this Mayweather-Pacquiao fight, it'll be the biggest fight in history. We all get bragging rights. And we all make sure we make money back off of Mayweather, you know, if we lost some. I sat up here and was talking about that same shit. People saying, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Mayweather's his own boss, Jack. He only fights when he wants to. Nobody tells him when to fight. TB. And I'm thinking to myself, like, yo, how long? The second negotiations, HBO confirmed that Team Mayweather just basically, after the drug testing and everything was agreed to, Team Mayweather just basically just went to the media and said there was never no negotiations, no way, whatever the case may be. It never was happening. After HBO, who both fighters were under the same network, negotiated. I mean, they were under the same network, Manny Pacquiao and Floyd, but then Floyd's team wasn't ready. And then, oh my God, the 40 million. The 40 million that if Manny Pacquiao would have took, he would have been the biggest fool idiot in the history of ignorance and idiocy. If he would have took that 40 million. You know, it's hard arguing. Oh, maybe I shouldn't be talking about this. Look at that. Anyway, you know, if Manny Pacquiao would have took that 40 million, Floyd wired him that 20. And let's say, for example, at that point in time, the purse would have been, I mean, everything would have equaled up to about 400 million. Oh, Lord. You know, that's like 40 million is like 9%, some shit. No, 40 million is 10%. 10%. Floyd went at 90 and y'all would have allowed it. You know, I get upset because it's like, I understand that Manny Pacquiao is with HBO, but at the same time, they told the truth, okay? That was the truth. For me to watch that episode and see all the things I've been talking about for all these years where I was being bashed and ridiculed and called this and that and this and that, I get a certain amount of fulfillment when I see that someone is, or no, an entity is actually addressing all of it and saying, yo, Mayweather was on some shit. You know, like Pacquiao may have had his issues. Yes, when it came to the drug testing, it shouldn't have went, you know, the way it did. But at the same time, there's a lot of hypocrisy going on. And then it's like, you want to talk to me and say, well, you know, how you going to say this and that? Listen. The fight is happening. We are 14 fucking days away. 14 days. Just like Michael Rappaport, I believe that's his name is, was saying that he wants to just be able to watch the fight in peace with nobody around and analyze. I do too. Like, for example, I'm going to find out this week if I'm going to be going to the fight or not. So, you know, I'm going to tell you what my plan is. Listen, I just want to be able to watch the fight, go to the post-fight press conference. I don't have to be in the arena. I don't have to be in the arena. I will buy that shit on my phone. I will go to closed circuit. From what I'm hearing, that what they're going to do with the media, maybe the media will be in some type of private screening room. I don't care. I just want to be able to watch the fight and then jet to my room and do my videos and then get down to the post-fight press conference. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. Ladies and gentlemen, it's all over now. It's all over. The time has come for the Pactards. Yes, these are terms I don't use, but now we got to talk about them. The Pactards, the Flomos, the Mayweather Pacquiao YouTube channels, the writers. It's all over. 14 days. Enjoy it, because there's going to be a recession. Because people are not talking about what if people put it this way. You're not ready for Floyd Mayweather loses. Of course, there are people that want it to be controversy so it can keep dragging on and on and on, so they can do more videos, so they can write more articles, and so they can, you know, do more radio shows and talking about, oh, well, they need to have a rematch and all that. You know what I want? Whether it's Floyd Mayweather or whether it's Manny Pacquiao, I want somebody to get knocked the fuck out. I want whoever loses to lose to the point where it's over. It's done. That's why I'm glad Floyd is doing whatever he can do. You know, get your last supper going on. But at the same time, I'm not no clown. If you've been following me, if Floyd wins, then listen, it's over. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to do my video and I'm going to say, listen, it's over. Floyd Mayweather won. So I understand it's going to be a lot of people. And it's going to be a great day for me. You know why? Because win or lose, for Manny Pacquiao or Floyd Mayweather, people want to see my reaction. And I'm going to be humble. But at the same time, 14 days remain. 14 days remain. And it's going to be all over. Let's listen to a little bit more before I go. I'm giving it a 10 out of 10. Awesome.
Mayweather fed what he supposedly desired. There were also a host of minor details to be hammered out between Arum and Mayweather's advisor, Al Heyman.
I would be willing to give up on any of those issues that didn't affect the outcome of the fight. Who the hell cares who gets announced first or second? Who cares whether it's Mayweather Pacquiao or Pacquiao Mayweather? Who cares in the whole scheme of things that Leonard Ellerbe welcomed everybody to the press conference and then introduced me? Who really cares about that stuff?
As the camps made progress, HBO and Showtime endeavored to do the same.
Obviously, with the fighters aligned to different networks, it just added a layer of complexity to something that was already difficult, because you had to reconcile those two networks' agendas and issues and business objectives, along with promoters and fighters and managers. But Manny gave us the mandate. It's obvious Floyd gave the mandate to his network to get this done, and we weren't going to stand in the way, and we didn't.
Arum, though, still had some lingering doubts.
I knew Leslie Moonves wanted more than anything else to make the fight. But until that strange meeting, which was happenstance only, in Miami, at the Miami...
I just, you know, I'm just like, what I've learned over the years, especially now, you know, being a credentialed member of the media, I've learned so much about like boxing as a whole, boxing promotions, sources, how to get sources, how to get information, and it's been a lot. It's been too much propaganda, and you got to understand these are multi-millionaire, as 50 Cent would say, said, which is true, Harvard graduates messing with your minds. You know, they all know what they're doing. Now, don't think at one shape or form, because I know it's going to be some ignorant motherfuckers that want to say, oh, well, what about Bob Arum? Bob Arum did this, you know, never, he dressed a Bob Arum. Listen to me. Listen to me. I'm not the type of dude that watch CNN and believe everything they say. But at the same time, when I'm looking at this isolated situation and isolating it to why didn't the fight happen and why is it just happening now, I can only see it being Floyd Mayweather's fault. Because when you're A-side, who's stopping you from making $180 million plus? Who's stopping you from making that type of money? So whatever the bullshit is, whatever y'all say, like for example, you get ignorance when people say, oh, this is the easiest fight for Floyd. This is going to be, you think this motherfucker making all that money? You think they going through all this? Like, see, that's me feeding into the bullshit because you don't, put it this way. I know more about Floyd Mayweather than the average fan. I know more about Floyd Mayweather than you probably know about Floyd Mayweather. For example, a lot of people don't know his real name is Floyd Joyce Sinclair. They think, you know, they're like, oh yeah, I've been knew that. No, you didn't. Shut up. You didn't know it. But 45 have tried. 45 have failed. I don't know. I don't know, yo. I don't know. But I look at it like this. This was really just the beginning because now we got 2 more episodes of Inside Mayweather Pacquiao. We got another HBO special called Mayweather Pacquiao, The Legends Speak. I'm going to be doing a preview on that. And basically for these next 14 days, it's going to be crazy Mayweather versus Pacquiao coverage on the channel, as it should be. And yes, shout out to Chris Alexander for getting that exclusive Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao Media Day coverage. We're going to have coverage of the final press conference. We're going to have coverage of the weigh-in. We got media calls coming up. T-Street Controversy rises. T-Street Controversy Live, RealCombatMedia.com. Please subscribe.